Goal number 14, Life Below Water. The goal is to conserve and sustainably use the world's oceans, seas, and marine resources. While individuals seek land and resource opportunities to develop, societies as a whole have been leaving a negative impact on the water-related ecosystems. An example of this is seen in wetlands, where the rate of loss in wetlands between the 1900s and 2000s is at a high of about 69% to 75%. Oceans play a huge part in making Earth a safe environment to live in. Proper ocean temperature, circulation, and ecosystems within the ocean are primarily regulated by the ocean. Humans rely on our oceans for many reasons, which is why it is vital to practice and promote safe ways to indulge in our ecosystem. Sustainable fishing includes effective fishing practices that ensure the safety of underwater creatures as well as maintain the level of fish that remain in the ocean. According to the Marine Stewardship Council, there are 3 principles to measure sustainability. 1. Sustainable fish stocks. 2. Minimizing environmental impact. And 3. Effective fisheries management. Harmful fishing practices like long lining and drift netting does not allow the fish population to remain productive and healthy. Did you know that the proportion of fish stocks within biologically sustainable levels has declined from 90% in 1974 to 67% in 2015? Many oceans are overtaxed, meaning fish are being caught at a faster pace than they can reproduce. The measures of global fish stocks shows in red how overexploited fish stocks are unsustainable for human resources. The consumption of fish is heavily relied on by the ocean, and maintaining the ecosystems habitual to the ocean is key in practicing safe fishing habits.
Prevent and significantly reduce marine pollution of all kinds, in particular from land-based activities including marine debris and nutrient pollution. 80% of all pollution that reaches the ocean is land-based. Nutrients like nitrogen and phosphorus are essential for a healthy marine ecosystem, since phytoplankton absorb these nutrients. However, phytoplankton are the most important marine species as they are the base of the food chain. However, too much of these nutrients create a buildup resulting in dead zones, which are deadly and damage ocean ecosystems. Our nutrient pollution has tripled since we began the industrial times. Plastics are another huge challenge. We produce 300 million metric tons, but we only recycle about 25% of this. The growth in our everyday use of plastics has dumped 8 to 20 million metric tons, reaching our oceans each year.
The ocean plays a central role in regulating the Earth's climate. With the ocean covering about 70% of the Earth's surface, this relationship is a two-way street. One way that the world's oceans affects weather and climate is in keeping our planet warm. The majority of radiation from the sun is absorbed by the ocean, but the ocean doesn't just store solar radiation. When water molecules are heated, they exchange freely with the air in a process called evaporation. Ocean water is constantly evaporating, increasing the temperature and humidity of the surrounding air to form rain and storms. The Earth's climate has changed throughout history, with the current warming trend being of particular significance because most of it is extremely likely to be the result of human activity. Since the Industrial Revolution, the amount of CO2 in our atmosphere has increased by over 35%, primarily from the burning of fossil fuels. Oceans' waters, animals, and habitats all help the ocean absorb a significant portion of CO2 emissions. Due to the ocean's high capacity for absorbing CO2, there is about 60 times more CO2 in the ocean than the atmosphere. The heat-trapping nature of CO2 and other gases cause the Earth to warm in response. The oceans have absorbed much of this increased heat. These warm temperatures lead to coral bleaching, rising sea levels, coastal erosion, harmful algal blooms, hypoxic or dead zones, new marine diseases, loss of marine animals, changes in levels of precipitation, fishery declines, and ocean acidification.
What is ocean acidity? Ocean acidification refers to a reduction in the pH of the ocean over an extended period of time, caused primarily by the uptake of carbon dioxide, also known as CO2, from the atmosphere. Ocean acidification has increased by 26%, and by 2100 is it expected to increase by 100 to 150%, which is a danger to all. Due to the ocean being able to absorb a high amount of CO2, there is actually 60% more CO2 in the ocean than the atmosphere. The poles play a huge role in this too. Due to CO2 being able to dissolve more quickly in colder climates, we see the damaging effects already taking place in the Arctic and the Antarctic as marine life is becoming endangered and extinct.